let us get headlines for the 4 o'clock hour with Alejandro Solana, who will be at the Kaseya Center tonight for a little Heat basketball.
Yes, sir. But first, we have some breaking Miami Dolphins news. It's not the Tua update or contract extension update. I don't want to mislead you. These headlines are driven by the new Palmetto Ford Truck Supercenter. Why buy your truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford. We know trucks. Brett Tesler, he's an NFL agent. Raheem Mostert's agent tweeted, happy to announce that we just redid Raheem Mostert's contract with the Miami Dolphins and added an extra year, which will keep him there through 2025. Nice reward for a Pro Bowl season. And then we got the update from Ian Rappaport. Dolphins and Mostert agreed to terms on a new 2-year deal worth $9.075 million. One of the most productive in the NFL gets rewarded at age 31.
Good for him.
I love it. I was actually at the Drake concert with Raheem and Lamar Miller, which was a weird little group. Yep. Raheem and Lamar Miller. I was there with my friend Anthony, and he had a box, and I walk in, and Raheem and Lamar Miller are there.
You went to the Drake concert?
Well, I had free tickets and free parking. Okay. I'll go anywhere for free tickets and free parking. I'll go to a cake.
Who is he with?
Who, Drake?
Yeah.
Drake was there. Drake did like an hour, and then Lil Wayne came out for about half an hour.
Oh, it was Lil Wayne.
Yeah.
Because my son went and saw him up in Tampa, but it was with J. Cole.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I would have rather seen, well, I don't know, because Lil Wayne killed it. But, yeah, Drake floats around the stadium on, like, this little revolving escalator thing. Yeah, he's a performer now. He's a performer.
DJ said that J. Cole was better than Drake, and he loves Drake, and Drake was great, but he said J. Cole was better.
J. Cole's a better rapper than Drake. But performance, though, with the singing and the rapping and all that, yeah, Drake can go now. I just love Lil Wayne, and I think he's actually a better rapper than Drake. But
were you at the Sunrise Show, Crowder? The one here a couple days ago in at Amerant Bank?
Amerant Bank, yeah.
So you saw him like do some sort of soliloquy in response to Kendrick Lamar's diss, right? Because that was his first show since Kendrick Lamar dissed him on a new song.
Yeah, but it was very, very gentle.
Yeah.
He doesn't want any smoke, as the kids say. He just wants to make money and talk to women.
No cap.
Well, he also goes into the lab too. Like, aren't his responses usually pretty well produced?
He had that one, the back-to-back one, where he used like the Toronto Blue Jays meme. But bro, going up against and Crowder, I mean, you can agree or disagree. You can call cap or no cap, but going up against Kendrick Lamar is a little different than going up against Common.
Yeah. Like Drake is very strategic with his beef, and he wants rap beef. He doesn't want life beef.
Yeah, but this Kendrick Lamar, I mean, the guy's a liar.
Hawk,
what's that song?
I want to see stretch marks.
Yeah. Okay, Kendrick Lamar. Yeah, that's what you want to see. That song drives me crazy. I want it real. I want to see stretch marks. Okay, let's line up a bunch of women for you, and some of them are models, and some of them have stretch marks. Let me see which one you walk to, Kendrick.
Hawk, you don't like the big rumps. When you got a lot of booty, you get a little stretch mark.
Yeah, not interested. Neither's Kendrick Lamar. Let's be honest here. Let's call it like we see it.
I'll navigate them.
Talking about Roy. You know what I'm talking about.
Navigate them stretch marks like a road map.
Like a crevasse. like I'm conquering a glacier.
Give me a stretch mark, baby. I know you got something.
There's some other breaking NFL news. Nothing big, but I'm seeing it here. Trade. Eagles are sending Hassan Reddick, edge rusher, to the New York Jets for a 2026 third-round pick, conditional 2026 third-round pick that could be a second. The 2026 pick becomes a second if Reddick has played 67.5% of playtime this season or has 10 or more sacks. If not, it's a 2023 third.
Reddick's a monster. That joke can go.
Zach Gelb quote tweets it and says, "Great move by the Jets."
All right. If Gelb endorses it, then I stand with it.
Listen, and I'm Dolphins, AFC East through and through, whatever. If Aaron Rodgers is healthy, the Jets are a good squad, man.
Well, what if they can't protect him though?
No, that's a great point. I would say they have a top defense, and then Aaron Rodgers is going to have to make Garrett Wilson and Lazard. They just signed another receiver after they in free agency, but like if Aaron Rodgers is healthy, they are a contender.
By the way, just going back to the Mostert deal, Barry Jackson provides an important update. Mostert, $3.4 million cap number for 2024 drops a bit. Dolphins have more than $5 million in cap space available, with $18.5 million more in space arriving on June 1st when Xavier Howard is officially off the books.
All right.
The Greer father.
That's about $23 million by my calculations.
Greer's making moves, baby.
Gonna be a little bit more once Tua gets the bag too, Hawk. If he gets the bag.
Better.
Let him play a year out. He got the 5th-year option.
I mean, you saw what's going on. You were off a couple days ago, Crowder. We had Zach Elbon. You see what's going on, with Dak Prescott, where, Jerry Jones is like, we're not going to give him a contract extension. Everybody go, he's being disrespected. His numbers are great. I said to Gal, what's the difference between him and Tua then? I don't hear anyone clamoring for Tua the way that they were for Dak. Everyone's like, you're being disrespected by the Cowboys, and what more do they want? Who are they going to find that's better than Dak? Well, how come I don't hear that when it comes to Tua? With Tua, it's like, well, I don't know. I mean, you've got him under contract. Why do you want to give him an extension? And, boy, those receivers are good. It might not even be Tua at all.
I can answer it for you. And it's funny, we brought him up about Van Ginkel. You brought up Ryan Flores, in a joke. That's why Dak has been backed. Dak has been pushed up. Dak has been supported by the team and the organization and the fan base since the second he got drafted. Tua was treated crazy because Brian Flores acted like he was a 3-year-old. And now it's like, he had one good season. Dak is good. Dak's top, whatever you want to say, top 12, and Tua's top 12. Why are they treated different? Because Brian Flores made people look at Tua differently than the organization of Dallas Cowboys make people look at Dak.
Well, I'm all in on Tua then. I want it to be clear. This guy deserves a hefty extension. I want to see 5 years at $50 million a year. I do, as a Dolphins fan.
I don't think it has as much to do with Brian Flores as it has to do with the fact that Tua played one season and was healthy, but prior to that has a long history of injury or missing time because of concussions. Not really. He really hasn't, Hawk.
No, but Solana, he couldn't. There's 2 seasons where he couldn't play the whole season because they pulled him, and I bring it up in the Denver game that second year down by 10, and they pull him and put Fitzpatrick in. They treated him differently. Dak was quarterback 1. Tua was, let's see what he has. You drafted him, what Tua go, 4 or 5? You drafted him 4, and now you're going to not let him play over Ryan Fitzpatrick? Come on, man.
I'm with you, but, I mean, Dak's been in the league since 2016. He has the prototypical body type for a quarterback. I'm not disagreeing with what Hawk's saying.
Where's the success, though? Everyone says about Tua, like, okay, the numbers are great. Where's the success? Where's Dak's success? Dak's had really good teams around him. Where's his Super Bowl ring?
Better teams than Tua consistently, and then to get to the playoffs, and the Eagles or the 49ers are going to whoop his ass every single time.
And by the way, I'm a Dak fan more than Crowder. I would love to see the Cowboys extend him because I don't think you're going to find better than him, and I feel the same way about Tua and the Dolphins.
Yeah, Drake May, Michael Penix. You don't know what those guys are going to be. You don't know what Jaden Daniels is going to be. You don't know what Caleb Williams is going to be. You have a quarterback, you got to keep him, man. I don't know what these young boys are about to do, even though I really think Jaden Daniels is about to be a monster because I watched his pro day the other day.
It's not the craziest thing in the world, though, for people on the outside looking in to watch Tua's season this year. He stayed healthy and say, we'll do it again one more year before I fully buy in. I don't think that's the craziest thing in the world. I don't think it's unfair to say that to a guy that couldn't remain healthy for an entire season over 4 years.
But what happened before last season, no one was saying, let me see you do it for 2 years. Everyone said, Let me see you do it for a season. Let me see you stay healthy for a season. And he put up record-breaking numbers, led the league. I mean, he was an MVP candidate for a while. He started all 17 games, and now everyone's like, well, I don't think it's unfair to say let's do it for another season. Yeah, it is unfair. Kick rocks.
It's one thing that used to really tick me off. I said tick me off because I can't cuss. About Big O, when he used to say, oh, you have a good series, a good drive, a good game, a good year. Do it again. A good year? You lead the NFL in passing for an entire year, 17 games, and that's not a big enough sample size? You need how many games? 40 games? 50? I need a number of games, Solana, where, okay, now he's hit the threshold in your mind that he can do it. This man led the NFL with the Joe Burrows, the Patrick Mahomes, the Josh Allens, the Lamar Jacksons, anybody you can rattle off. Beat all of them in passing yards. I got to see it for another 17 game. And at that point, you might say, I need to see another 17 game.
Right. You never know because they keep moving the goalposts on this guy. You know what you got to see? You got to see me, Solana.
Ooh, them fighting words.
Want to see it for one more year. By the way, Big O's never been wrong about the Dolphins, Crowder. I hate to break it to you. He's never been wrong. He was right about Adam Gase. He was right about Brian
in the
Flores.
Box. Were you there during the Man in the Box era? The man in the box. Which quarterback? Were you there for that era, Solana?
I wasn't. I was there for the we've got a blind ass fan alert. We've got a blind ass fan alert.
No, but there was a quarterback. I think it was Tannehill. That Big O would always complain. He's just a man in a box, and then he would play. I think it's Alice in Chains. I'm the man in the box. Oh,
it's so easy to doubt athletes, and before it's so easy to doubt them and then say, "Oh, I was wrong." Then amp them up and say, "Oh, I was wrong." It's fun, like it's a media thing where no, just doubt everybody and then say, "Oh, this kid can really play." Then say, "Man, listen, I've seen it; he can play." And then, "Oh yeah, no, I might have categorized him wrong." Everybody wants to doubt.
It's not doubting Tua. It's just looking at body of work and saying, hey, it would be great if he could show you that he could stay healthy for 2 seasons rather than just 1. I don't think that's unfair. And I don't think that's doubting
ridiculous.
Him.
It's ridiculous. It's such a moving of the goalposts that it's ridiculous.
Okay, so what if he were to get hurt? I'm just saying, Hawk.
If anybody was to get hurt?
Is Joe Burrow good?
Aaron Rodgers got hurt on the first series.
Aaron Rodgers got hurt?
Right.
They were all in on their entire season. He got injured. It happens. If you think Tua's going to go the rest of his career without getting injured, you are incorrect. So anyone who hears me talking right now saying Tua deserves his extension and he stayed healthy, the moment that he goes down, and he will go down for a game or 2 or a season at some point in the rest of his career, don't text me. You see? Because all football players go down at some point. They get injured. It's part of the game. To try to pretend like you've got some magic formula. Well, if I see him healthy for 34 games, then I completely believe he will be healthy for the rest of his life. If I see him healthy for 17 games, I'm not so certain. It's nonsense. You know what we call it? Bunk.
No, you're totally conflating what I'm saying, though, because it's not just, hey, he tore his ACL. Hey, he tore his Achilles. That happens, right? Jalen Phillips. I wouldn't say Jalen Phillips is injury prone, tore his Achilles. That could happen to anybody on any given play, like it happened to Aaron Rodgers. Tua has a long history of injury concerns with the hip coming in, then the hand, then the concussions as well that kept him out for the majority of a season in McDaniel's first year. And before I give him a max extension that's going to make him here long term, I'd like to ensure that the guy we're giving that money to and putting.
But he did it last season. He got through last season. Most quarterbacks didn't. And I got to tell you another thing with the concussion. I'm all for being safe. He was held out longer than any other quarterback would have been held out because his happened in prime time, and it became a media sensation. That happened on a Sunday afternoon at 1:45, it would not have hit the same. That's the reality of it. Tua knows that's the reality of it.
Brock Purdy got hurt in the playoffs, and that's why the 49ers lost 2 years ago.
And he just got a giant extension, by the way.
He got a giant extension. Joe Burrow got the $50 million a year, and he's missed games in the last 3 years.
Right.
Baker Mayfield just got $100 million. Kirk Cousins just got $180 million. Tua deserves some money, bro. Like, don't act like.
What's the difference between those 4 people and Tua? I'll say it. I know you're thinking it, Roy. They're white.
Purdy, Joe Burrow, Baker, and Kirk Cousins are white.
Right? You see what I'm saying, Roy. Yeah. He said, copy that.
The white guys are allowed to get hurt. Polynesians
They're getting hurt and they're getting extensions. How convenient.
And if you're happy with your quarterback being totally immobile so that he can avoid any type of hit and teams further exploiting his limitations because of it, fine, then go ahead. Give him the bag. Go ahead. That's fine.
I actually agree with you, but Hawk's take on this, I hope it's true that they tried to limit Tua's mobility, and they're going to open it up next year. They're going to trust him and open him up and let him run more. I hope Hawk's right on this, but I don't think even at Alabama he wasn't a runner. I don't need him to be Lamar Jackson. I need him to get 3rd and 2s like we watched Patrick Mahomes do.
The thought that he might take off for 7 or 8 yards if the opening's there. And I'm telling you, they told him last season, no matter the situation, don't run. And my feeling is they're not going to say that this year. You've proven yourself to be durable, and if you need to take off, you take off.
Run on 3rd down only. I'd be okay with that. I'm not going to lie. Run on 3rd down to get the 1st down. 1st down, if somebody comes, throw the ball out of bounds. If it's 3rd and 3, take your little squatty butt out there and get to the flat and get a 1st down.
And the first time he gets hit, everybody in Miami is going to have their heads in their head.
Yeah, he's such a dandelion. I'm sure you've been next to him. He's just a waif. I mean, the guy's a big, thick football player. I mean, this Brian Flores, I mean, he really ruined Tua.
Has nothing
the way
to do
you
with
talk,
Flores.
it sure does. Because Flores made him seem
asparagus.
Yeah, Flores made him seem like, such this weak little flower that everyone has that same reaction that you do, Solana.
It has nothing to do with Flores. I'm with you guys with the way Brian Flores. I'm with you guys 100% with the way Brian Flores managed him, took him out, told him he's a starter. You had Ryan Fitzpatrick crying on the sidelines, cutting his shorts in solidarity to win the team over. I'm with you guys 100%. That whole thing was a circus, and Brian Flores handled the Deshaun Watson thing terribly when he should have just been transparent about either A, I like Tua, or B, no, we're going to look for somebody else. But to sit here and say he doesn't have an injury-prone history, to me, is just foolish. Like, he does. It's not just the concussion.
Right, and that's why you wanted to see him get through a season without being injured. But now you want him to get through his career without being injured, and then you'll give him some money.
It's not that I want to see him go his entire career without getting injured. It's just that I'm not blind to the obvious limitations that he has because we don't want to see him get injured. I mean, it's so evident watching him. Guy feels somebody coming, he just goes straight down. And
because they told him to.
Okay.
They told him to.
If you think they told him to, then guess what? The Dolphins feel the exact same way about Tua Tagovailoa that I do.
That's right. They wanted to keep him healthy. They wanted to keep him healthy last season. Somebody texts in, Lamar got his money, so did Jalen Hurts. It's not a race thing. Yeah. Keep yourself blind to the ways of the world, Texter. Yes, I know that. I was being facetious, dummy.
Lamar's white? He got me.
Your NCAA tournament schedule tonight, Sweet 16. Marquette plays NC State. Purdue plays Gonzaga. Houston, 1 seed, plays Duke. Tennessee plays Creighton. Yesterday, UConn blew out San Diego State. Clemson knocked off Arizona. Alabama defeated UNC. That's the first 1 seed eliminated. Told you guys, Tar Heels suck ass. And then Illinois beat Iowa State.
They really do.
God. What happened there, Jimmy? Jeez. We're going to put the reins on Solana.
My goodness.
The Marlins play today against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Game 2 of their 4-game series. AJ Puck gets the nod. Inter Miami host New York City FC tomorrow, 7:30. No Leo Messi. That game will be on WQAM.
Oh, injury prone? Missing another game?
He is injury prone. I'm with you.
Interesting. Yeah, well, you don't want to give him a big contract then.
The Miami Heat. The Miami Heat. They play the Portland Trailblazers 8 p.m. Jimmy Butler expected to play today.
Oh, he's got how many missed games? 24, 25 this season?
Yeah. He gives a sinus infection. He's out.
And Nova
sinus infection. He's out with a booger.
When I was breathing, I heard a whistle.
That was a joke, Jimmy, in case he's listening.